On this wide-range perspective, so much of what we do to each other must have the entire universe shaking their heads in disbelief. Someone born in the United States is not more singular than someone born in Mexico. Someone who lives in Toronto is not more special than someone who lives in Iqaluit. Someone who is white is not more special than someone who is black. They're just a means of expression for the consciousness to experience. You go down to the seashore and you pick up a droplet of water in your hand. How can anyone say that that droplet is any more or less special than all the other billions and trillions of droplets you see in the ocean before you? And when I began to understand all this, and appreciate the other explanation of dogmatic religion and this world is all there is science, I began to ask a few questions, like, for example, how come this explanation, at the very bottom line, in any case, is as trustworthy as the other two? And how come the other two get guaranteed airtime to say what they need, and the alternative to both of them, of course, is suppressed and condemned via reflex action? The answer that I came up with was clearly somebody or some people don't want the public to have access to this information. But who, and what, and why? And then I began to ask other questions. Like, I don't know about you people, but I was introduced to many different people in my life during the 17 years I've been on this planet. And I come to my knowledge and I don't recall anyone who wanted a war, who had any business with war, and felt that war was horrific and to be avoided. And then I thought, how come the entire world has been at war throughout the last century and this century? Who's behind them? Or what and why? Then I started to look at this economic system that controls the world. An economic system that is so sane that the more successful it is in its own terms, the quicker it destroys the planet. It is the perfect environmental and human assassin. It insists every year that we take more from the earth even quicker, turn it into even more things, sell even more things, consume even more things, throw away even more things, to worship the real god of this modern world economic growth. It insists every year that 20% of the people consume 80% of the resources while leaving the other 80% to get by on the other 20%. Crazy. Of course it is! But that's the economic system, take, make, throw away, that controls your life and mine and that of 7 billion people. So then I thought, what's behind this self-destruction? Or who and why? Then I started to look at the other conventional wisdom that we pass on from generation to generation as the only way of doing things in this world. The wisdom that says that even though that the economic system that I described is dismantling this planet, you go ask any politician of any party anywhere in the world, and what do you get for what do we do to get out of this environmental situation? And they will say, you must have more growth to raise the money to spend on the environment. If I said to you the way to put out a fire is to pour more gasoline on it, you'd say he's out of his fucking mind. But that's what the politicians are thinking when they say that they want to say that more growth, when they say that they need more growth to sort out the environment. It's conventional wisdom that it's fine to treat animals as mere commodities, to be made as fat as possible, as quick as possible, on as little food as possible, to condemn every year of billions of animals as a lifetime of pain, fear, and suffering in the name of economics. You're sane, finally, if you judge your success in healthcare, not by how many people are healthy, but by how many disease people you manage to treat. We're treating more patients than ever before. Why? Why are so many people sick? It's conventional wisdom that rising house prices are a sign of economic success when thousands are homeless because they can't afford them. You're sane, finally, if you think it's fine to support a system that is so successful that every year it turns out more suicide, drug taking, alcoholism, homelessness, pain, stress, fear, and suffering in all of its forms. We'd be in real trouble if this system wasn't working. That's sanity, apparently. But in my eyes, it's the ultimate insanity. So who's behind it? Or what and why? I began to that against the background of this utter self-destruction of the same planet is stunning wisdom. And I began to see a stunning difference between cleverness and wisdom. They're not the same thing. This system is very clever, but it is not very wise, and it is the lack of wisdom that is the problem. And I began to see here that what we call wisdom is often not found in the state-of-the-art letters after their name system. It's actually founded in the native peoples that this system would see as backwards. A piece of American Native American wisdom would be known as American Indians. When you have cut down the last tree and poisoned the last river, you will know that you cannot eat money. That's wisdom. And there's another famous American Indian wisdom. In 1854, the American government made an offer on Indian land under the system that I have been talking about, and the attitudes and values indoctrinated to us. What should have happened is this. This chief would have said this. Okay, I'm a winner here because it's the seller's market. I would never put it on the market, therefore I'm in the driver's seat. So what I'll do is duck and wave. I'll crack on what I don't want to sell to get them to push up the price at the moment, but I think they'll pull out, so I'll put my hand out and say that you've convinced me. And then people will say, oh, what a great business person he is. Oh, he's chief too. But there's another value system also. A value system that said this. How can you buy or sell the sky? We do not own the freshness of the air or the sparkle on the water. How then can you buy them from us? Every part of the earth is sacred to my people, holy in their memory and experience. We know the white man does not understand our ways. He's a stranger who comes from the night and takes from the land whatever he needs. The earth is not his friend, but his enemy, and when he's conquered it, he moves on. He kidnaps the earth from his children. His appetite will devour the earth and leave behind a desert. If the beasts were gone, we would suffer a great loneliness of the spirit. For whatever beholds the earth beholds the children of the earth. It's sobering to think that those words were spoken in 1854 when you look at what has happened since.